Well, hey! Today we're gonna be making Loh Mai Fan, aka Loh Mai Gai, aka glutinous rice with chicken. I'm going to be showing you two methods of making this, so stay tuned. We're gonna start off by adding sesame oil right into our chicken. Make sure your bowl's big enough to do a little mixing later on, and make sure your chicken has bones in it because we want flavor. Next, Shaoxing wine. And then we have light soy sauce, oyster sauce, and grated ginger. Honestly, I didn't want to grate this because I didn't want to grate my hands as well because it's such a small slice, so I just pounded it in a pestle and mortar. And then we throw in the pepper. Make sure it's white pepper, not black. And then throw in the corn flour and all of your mushrooms. If you're using dehydrated shiitake mushrooms, then you want to soak that first, but this is fresh, so we're going to go ahead and throw it right in and give it a good mix. Next, we are going to make the glutinous rice. I'm going to pause right there. So the traditional way of making this Loh Mai Fan is to soak the glutinous rice for many hours before you steam it. But I'm going to try and see if we have a shortcut here by just cooking it in the rice cooker because life is short. We want to be efficient. So pour that triple washed glutinous rice into your rice cooker bowl and add in some garlic, shallots. I had to Google how to say shallots because I thought it was shallots at first. We'll add in light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, 5 spice powder, chicken stock, and top it off with water. Give that a good stir. And next we want to throw in the Chinese sausage, or as the Chinese call it, lap chang or la chang. Place it evenly on the pan. You want to fry it. I like mine a little bit on the burnt side, but if you don't, keep it on extremely low heat. Bring out your chicken and mushroom marinade and fry that on medium heat. Stir it around because you want an even heat distribution. Oops. That was my phone. I mean, let it simmer, let it reduce, and then add a tablespoon of sugar to give it that slightly sweet hint that Loh Mai Gai always has. And pour in chicken stock and reduce. When your chicken's cooked, take all the bits out, but remember to keep the sauce because we need it for later on. And now we're going to move on to our soaked glutinous rice, the traditional way, because I'm going to show you two ways, and then we can see which type we like more or you like more. So I just browned the garlic, and now I'm adding in the soaked glutinous rice. I soaked this for 6 hours. If you're in a hurry, 4 hours would do. Then we are going to pan fry that and add in the fried shallots. So here I'm using the pre-fried shallots that you can find in almost any Asian shops. It's much faster. And I am just stirring that in, pan frying it on low heat. And then we add light soy sauce in, and in goes the dark soy sauce. Throw in 5 spice powder, and we are back to stirring. So the key here is to be quick because you don't want the sauce to get stuck at the bottom of the pan, and we want to make sure all the rice bits are well coated with the sauces and the spices. And when everything's well coated, it is time to throw in the chicken stock. You don't want to overcook this because we're still going to steam it. So we just actually want everything to be well incorporated and for everything to be coated. Now that that's done, I've poured in chicken stock and I'm going to continue stirring that on a low heat to make sure that the rice granules absorb some of the chicken stock, and we're done. Now we are going to put it into a bowl and cover that in a steamer. You want the water to already be boiling before you put in the rice. Now I'm going to cover that and steam it for 30 minutes. If you're paranoid that it'll overcook and be too soft, then you can check it 5 minutes before the actual time's up, but don't open it too much because you don't want too much heat escaping. So now I've got both batches ready. That is the one that was from the rice cooker. It is actually really soft. I don't exactly have the best camera in the world, but here is my attempt at giving you a closer look. So that's the texture you get from the rice cooker. And now for the one that was steamed and soaked. Ooh, we can see that there's a bit of a stiffer texture there. So after this, we're going to have to steam this one more time. So we'll see how that turns out. But for now, we are going to place the mushrooms and chicken that we fried just now into a bowl. So place it really nicely and evenly and make it pretty, because that's what you're going to see on top later on. We're going to flip it around, and this bit that I'm filling in now is going to be your pièce de résistance. Now we press in the glutinous rice that we've cooked just now. Make sure to really press it in and compact it. That's as compact as it should get. Try to press the rice into any air pockets that you might find underneath. Here's a comparison of textures. And then from the sauce of the chicken that we've cooked, we want to take about a tablespoon and spread it on top of the rice. This will later be soaked in. It will sink to the bottom evenly, hopefully, while we steam it. So cover that with aluminum foil gently and securely. And when that's done, we're going to pop it into the steamer for 15 more minutes. Now they're out of the steamer, we want to use a knife to loosen the edges before we flip it around. Careful, it's going to be hot. Put a plate over it, the one that you want to serve it in, and use a cloth or a oven mitten to support the bottom of the bowl. You want to be sure to have a really good grip here from both the top and the bottom hand to make sure nothing slips and slides, because we're dealing with glass here. And when you flip that over, it's time to unmold, and voila, it's still hot. Yums, totally worth burning my fingers for. So visually speaking, we can see that this one has a obviously more grainy texture to it, whereas the one on the left looks a bit more mushy and a bit softer, which is not a bad thing. I will explain why soon. So we're gonna try this out just to confirm that it tastes like how I think it's meant to taste, and it does. If you go to any Malaysian dim sum shops around, you would probably get a texture that's more similar to the left one, which is a bit softer, more mushy. Whereas if you go somewhere a bit more upscale, like, I don't know, Cantonite or something, you'll get this grainier, Loh Mai-ish texture. So it really depends on what you like. I have moods. I like both of them. I'm not just saying that because I made it, but I mean, okay, if you really want to impress someone, I would probably go with the one on the right. Real talk though, if you have time to plan in advance, I would recommend soaking the rice overnight and then steaming it, because then you don't run the risk of adding too much water or too little water into the rice cooker, which is a real risk. and then having to just use that rice or having to do it all over again. But if you're an expert at glutinous rice to water ratio in the rice cooker, I'm not sure how many of us are, then go for it. It saves you so much more time. So have fun with that and let me know how it turns out if you do decide to make it. To put in yo mother. If you liked this video and want to see more videos from us, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.